Welcome back to another training video. In this video, we'll be searching through call details, but looking primarily at queues. In the video previous, right above on the portal for training purposes, I showed you and talked to you about how to log into the system. And a lot of that is contacting your installer and just getting the required username, the required password, and the link to actually get to your phone system, whether it's in the cloud or on-premise. You should be able to find or be given the numbers necessary to do that, or be given a name to get to that. So I won't cover that again. So if you're wondering how to get to your phone system and how to log into it, watch the first few minutes of the video above, just so I don't repeat myself for people that are watching both videos. But let's just assume by now you've gotten to your phone system and you've got access, you've got username, you've got password, and you want to look at your queues. Queues are, a person calls in, and there are agents that are then going to be taking those calls, and people wait in queue. They're basically waiting in line. So when you call, Verizon, for example, or Spectrum, you're probably put in a queue, and you're 20th in line. They can come in, they can tell you what number in line you are, how long you're going to be waiting for. But what basically is going to be happening is the caller is going to be hearing music until one of your agents is available to take their call. What I'm going to be looking at today is how can you, if you are running those queues, how can you find some information out about your calls? How long are they waiting? Which calls are disconnected? Which calls are hanging up? Which agents are the most effective? And I should say right away, this is an upgrade. In the previous video, both of those were included in the base Nimbus system. This is an upgrade to your system that you can find out information about your agents for inbound calls. So if you're looking for that, certainly contact your installer. Perhaps you already have it. In that case, this is how to use it. So first of all, log into your Nimbus. So Nimbus Voice Programming. Click on Nimbus Voice Admin. Put in the credentials that your installer has given you. In this case, I'll just use what I already have. And there's two parts to this. The first part to this is deciding what reports you want or what data you want to see. It's basically making your template and then actually using the template and running that template. So I'm going to first start with a template. As I mentioned previously, this is an upgrade, and this is only for queues. This is not going to work for ring groups, and it's only for inbound calls. So it's very specific as to why you would use this. Spectrum would use this, right? They take a lot of calls, and they want to know how efficient their users are, their agents are. So it's for inbound queues, and you want to track to see how well your agents are doing, taking those calls and how long callers are having to wait. So under reports, you can see the previous video I talked about Astronex CDR and I talked about CDR. In this case, you're going to go to Queue Report Template. Okay, so a template is basically you deciding what you want to see when you run a report. As you can see, the system has a lot of templates, and you can create as many as you want and then run them whenever you want. So if I click on a previous one, this happens to be a CQ test that I've already made. I can click on the pencil, and this shows me that the types of information I'm going to see if I run this report. I've got answered service level, unanswered service level, call details, unanswered call details, and then below each report type, I get, what data am I actually going to see? And the dark blue indicates you're going to see it. A light blue indicates you're not interested in seeing it. So let's just say you didn't want to see original position. You simply click on that, and the next time you run that report, that column will be gone. If you want to add something to it, you can click Add Table, okay, and then you can simply change the report type. So these are all pre-made reports. There are some custom ones in here. So agent availability, this would be if you have agents that are logging in and logging out of your queues, who's actually logged in, who's not logged in. And then notice it automatically fills your columns, and you can decide, what you want and not want to see. And you can add multiple, right now we've got 5, you can add more. And then, simply hit submit. And, here it is right here. If I want to get rid of it, I can hit the trash can. If I want to make a brand new one, I click Add Template. Once again, we'll just call this training. So this is what it starts with. This is an answered call distribution by agent. You can see all the things that are and aren't checked. And if you want to change it, you can change it. And then if you want to add a few tables to it, you can add a few tables to it. So this is just kind of, a lot of this is just, you need to play with it a little bit. Add the tables you want, remove them, submit it. I'm not actually going to submit this. We don't need another one in here, but you can, and it'll make it be an option. So I would just start by making some templates, and you can just simply by doing your columns, you can see, what data are you going to see for that queue. You could have a sales queue, you could have a support queue, all sorts of queues. So then it's a matter of running those reports. And it's actually similar to the Astronex CDR. You choose your time span, and you choose your queues, and then you run the report. So under report, click on queue reporting. So it's right below it. Okay, so here's your options. Number one, choose your template. So these are all of the templates that we just saw on the previous page. So notice here's the CQ test. And if you don't know what it is, go back to the template and look to see what it is. What's your date range? So I'm just going to say August 1st until the end of August. And then you can choose what queues do you want to see. Okay, they're by default they're all selected. Meaning you're going to get all the information for all the queues, and you're going to get all the agents. But if you want to, you can just select just a few of these. For now, I'll just leave it as it is, or maybe I can even just I'll do VMI through chief, okay? And then hit get queue exact report. So first of all, you get kind of a summary. These are the queues you're looking at. Here's your agents you're looking at, and these are what you just chose. And then if you scroll down, right, now you're going to get information that you looked at. So the answered service level. So the number of calls that were answered within 30 seconds is 47. So it's not bad. You get a few calls that lasted longer than that. And these are all data that you chose from previous. And so here's all of your call detail list. Now it mixes your queues together. So if it were me, I would probably go to queue reporting, and I would just choose a single queue. Right? So I might choose, let's just say I want to say cover 0. You're probably going to get better results if you just choose 1. So these are all the calls that came into cover 0, right, based on the information you provided. And so there's your data. This does not happen automatically. So currently on the version, there is no way to schedule this. So it's not going to run the report and email it to you. This is more of an on-demand. This is come into the system, first of the month, run a report, take a look at your data. Right? You can, export it here into a wide variety of files. And then if you've got a company, running support on those queues, you can then provide that information to them, and they could do whatever they need to do with that information. So, so it's as simple as that. It's a two-step process. It's starting with your templates, right? Creating, what kind of data do you want to see, and then it's going to and choosing what template you want to run, right? Choosing your time span, and then choosing what, if you want to look at, I want to see how, my VIP queue is doing for this month. Right? So there's your VIP queue, there's your agents, there's your time span, and it gives you information on the queue. So obviously, if you choose a queue that's really not in use much, you're not going to get much information. If you choose a queue that is very heavily used, you're going to get all the information there in terms of, wait times, disconnection times. Once again, this is for inbound queue calls to a Nimbus phone system, both on-premise and in the cloud. Have a great day.